If you've been following our sort of mini series here on giving feedback, you know that I've encouraged you to think about the expectations that you're going to set for your teams and your employees, to really spend some time getting yourself centered and thinking about how you want to help them, and to remember to give timely feedback. But some people just come to me and they say, "Hey, Leslie, can you just give me a framework? Can you just give me a model or a step-by-step kind of paint by numbers that I can follow when I'm getting ready for feedback conversations?" And the truth is, there's no one right way to do feedback. If you show up and you are authentic and you're clear and you're communicating with employees from a spirit of helping them and getting them to the next level, then your feedback will be fine. But if you are somebody who likes a framework, for whom that's going to help you feel a little bit more prepared and calmer going in, the framework that I'm going to recommend that you use is what I call Keep, Stop, Start. And this is easiest to see if you take a real life example. So let's assume that you have an employee on your team named Amy. And Amy is a phenomenal performer overall. She never misses a deadline. She does great quality work. But you've noticed that she has a little bit of a habit of bulldozing over a team. So maybe she talks over them. Maybe she doesn't let other people's ideas be heard. Maybe she pushes for her own way a little bit too aggressively. And you've noticed that that's really sort of undermining the sense of collaboration on the team. Or maybe you've even heard some complaints from other team members about it. So as a leader, you want to think through, what parts of Amy's performance do you want her to keep doing? What parts of what you're noticing do you want her to stop? And what do you want to start her to start doing instead? So your conversation with her might sound something like this. "Hi, Amy. You're a fantastic part of our team. You're clearly super ambitious. You're very passionate about your work, and we don't want to lose that. We want you to keep bringing all of that energy and passion to the work that you're doing. But I've noticed that sometimes that energy and passion gets a little bit out of hand, and it doesn't leave space for other employees to be heard. So you need to stop talking over other people in our team meetings. You need to stop sort of demanding that everything has to turn out your way. And what I'd like to see you do instead is, when somebody else raises an idea, get curious about it. Ask them some questions. Give them a little bit of space to talk. See if you can allow other people on the team to participate in our discussions." So if you're Amy, you're going to walk away from this conversation and you're going to feel like you're a valued member of the team. And more than that, you're going to feel like you know why you're a valued member of the team. "Oh, my passion, my energy, those are things that are valued in this organization." But you're also going to have a clear idea of what I want you to stop doing as a leader. Stop talking over people. Stop demanding your own way. Stop crowding out the space so that no one else has a turn to speak. And you're also going to know what I want you to do instead. Start collaborating, get curious, ask questions. Amy's going to walk away from this with a clear idea of what success looks like for her and what success doesn't look like. And that's really the goal of an effective feedback conversation, is to get people moving in the direction of more success. That's really what we're after when we're talking about feedback. I would also be remiss if I didn't get a little bit on my soapbox here and tell you that I am not a fan of what you will sometimes hear people call the sandwich method of feedback, which is tell them something good, tell them something bad, and then tell them something good. I think this really causes a lot of confusion in the minds of the leaders that we work with. They struggle with finding a way to think about that feels continuous, that feels like it makes sense, that feels like the good and the bad relate to each other in some way. And on the receiving end of this, it's very confusing for employees. So if you are a framework person, if preparing for a feedback conversation would be aided for you by having a framework, I'd encourage you to use Keep, Stop, Start rather than that sandwich method. And if you feel like you need a little bit of help, or if you feel like you've got a leader on your team who needs a little bit of help, shoot us a message, let us know. I'm happy to help however we can.